Hello, welcome to the sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Team Open in Louisville, part of the SCG Tour, brought to you by Ultimate Guard. I'm Nick Miller alongside Team Hex Heroes, as you guys are being called. Jeff Hoogland, Ketter, Matt Bimonte. You guys are coming in hot off of a team-constructed tournament win, kind of in your guys' home area, right?
Yeah. It was a 31-player team event. We played the same
31
format. 31 teams. Sorry.
100 players.
100 players.
Yeah.
Yep. So we played the same format we're playing here today.
Worked out pretty well.
Now we'll talk about how you guys kind of determined where you're all playing and the decks you're playing. But first, we want to talk about the team-constructed tournaments as a whole. You know, we had the first one. You were there. I don't think that you were.
Baltimore. Yeah, I was with a team with Feingersh and Basel.
And there was nothing but praise for how the tournament was.
Yes.
We've shifted to having more of these going forward. You know, you even had one at your local store that you guys played at. What's good about this format that you guys want to travel to events again?
I think the best thing about the format is that everyone gets to play essentially what they want, and it's good diversity. So if you have some friends that like Legacy, some that like Modern, maybe you like Standard. So give someone a chance to play everything. And if you don't have 3 friends like that, you can certainly find people that want to play.
The team we just played against, the middle player had not previously met the outside players.
Okay.
And they were all very good players. No questions there. So
I mean, like, the best thing about any Magic trip is like the people and the team events. Like, make the people more important. Like, it makes your testing more important.
Definitely.
So how do you get roped into playing Legacy, Jeff?
Well, you have to understand, Nick, that Legacy is the best format in Magic.
Sadly, it is.
So they asked me if I wanted to play the best format in Magic, and I was like, of course I do.
The Cadillac of Magic.
The Cadillac of Magic.
I want to play this Alurin deck. So we went, the first tournament we played, Jeff got to play Alurin. Kent is the Dredge Master, and I'm just the standard guy. So it just kind of worked out that way again.
And from there was the realization that Jeff was exceptional at not losing matches with Legacy.
That's
not
very
losing.
important.
Our first team event, it was what, 1-1-7 or something?
I went 2-1. I won the finals.
2-1. So Jeff seemed to slot in well there, because not losing is the first step to winning, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
He pulled that off. We figured put him right back in there. Made sense.
Okay, so coming in, you have the formats figured out, where you guys are playing. How do you figure out what you're going to play, especially because this event is pretty special in that we've had bannings for Legacy and
it's a triple week one
and Standard, I guess.
And then you have
but then we had the Pro Tour last weekend, so there's a lot of things in flux right now.
Yeah, I guess where we started was we were kind of firm on Kent's deck list, right? Minus like a couple cards, not a lot.
He's 1 card different than we played last time.
Yeah.
So Dredge for Modern.
Yes.
That's not changing.
Yeah. So it felt like all 3 formats were week 1 formats in a sense, because while the PT did define the metagame, this is everyone else getting their hands on it.
Right.
So we just went with what we felt were 2 stronger decks, solidified on zombies after not wanting to spend the Marvel.
Yeah, Jeff been working on his little black-white Stoneblade deck for since like the bannings. His deck was pretty reasonable. So he had put a lot of work in. We knew Kent was going to play Dredge, basically. So we actually spent a lot of time working on Standard and trying to fix some of the problems Jerry had.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we played 40 hours of Standard.
We played more Standard than every other format.
So we tried the Marvel decks, and they feel inconsistent. And you can just run people out with the Zombies deck. And Jerry alluded to that he needed to fix the sideboard. So we tinkered with a few things and kind of came to where we were. So.
Yeah, and the Zombies deck is less powerful than what Marvel's doing, but if you've never played with 23 of the same basic land in your deck before, you should really try it.
23.
Really try it.
There's some good equity there.
Yeah, you gain so many percentage points from the consistency that you have from just like knowing if I have my lands, I'm going to cast my spells.
One other important part about the prep was, since my deck and format were pretty well decided, it was then my job to help these knuckleheads figure it out, and to figure out like what Standard decks were being played. Because while I don't need to learn much more about the Modern opponents across from me, I need to be able to give both Matt and Jeff reasonable advice. So as the middle player, while I didn't have to do much deck prep, the team collectively didn't, I was still very, very invested in figuring out 2 new formats, because there's no more Miracles, so I can't just tell Jeff, play against Miracles and figure it out. And on the Standard side,
it's open. It's
brand new.
Open.
Brand new. So it was really interesting, and that was all because of the team format. If this was a unified of anything, I wouldn't even be.
We wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here. But personal preference.
So how have the matches gone so far? You're 4-0 so far. How, deck diversity? How's the format's been looking?
We're right in Modern. Things have been reasonable there. Good. I've played a bunch of control decks. We have a lot of folks who are convinced. Play the control deck, beat the Dredge decks and the Death Shadows decks. I'm just feasting on control decks. It was pretty simple there.
I like the Black-White Stoneblade deck because it is really good like spell-based matchups. Like Storm is extra popular right now, so it's strong
and
there.
Today you've played Sneak and Show, D&T. Lands is unwinnable.
Lands is unwinnable. I'm 3-1 in matches played, and Lands is pretty tough.
Yeah. I have played nothing but Teamer Marvel.
Three Teamer Marvel, one Teamer Tower.
Yeah, I've dispossessed my opponents, looked through the deck, tried to figure out how I'm going to win, and just seen like tons of Chandra, Sweltering Suns, Magma Sprays. I'm like, well, I did this to myself, so it's fine. I think I'm what, 2-1
You're
total?
2-2.
Or I didn't finish one.
You were going to lose.
I was going to lose, but I didn't lose. Okay, so yeah,
the greatness of a team event.
You have to. I think like if you're going to play the zombies, like you have to just be ready to lose to some cards. And it's not even that you're going to lose them necessarily. They have to have them. Like my opponent spun Marvel twice the last game and just hit like Puzzle Knot, Whirl of Virtuoso, and I just like killed him through it. So you can still
after missing a 5-cost trigger on a certain mastery,
we
won't. Don't worry about that. No big deal.
Another one of my favorite parts is the team camaraderie and kind of Daggering. We're going to segue into Daggering because when Nass Party and Stark won at the last one, the whole thing about winning the tournament was you missed just dazing a lethal fire blast. So you get to relive these moments
100%
all tournament.
You do.
Jeff has still not heard the end of you didn't actually win anything in our last tournament.
Yes. He won the first and the last, if I remember correctly.
Those are the two matches I won. First round and then the final.
Sound pretty important to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. All right, so closing thoughts here on the tournament. We're 4 rounds in. How do you guys like where your position, your decks, everything going forward?
I'm happy. Modern position, we're happy.
Our two deck choices I think are fantastic, and if Matt can keep flipping coins, I think we're in a good spot.
We feel like Jeff is going to beat the fair decks, and that seems to be the dominant offering here. Dredge, whatever. Show me your moves.
Yeah, and then like I said, you just like against the Teamer Marvel decks, it's hard, but you can slog through. You have tons of ways to rebuild very quickly, which is why the Zombies deck's good, is because you can rebuild quickly. So.
As for the team constructed format, I would not be upset if this was the future of Magic. These events are fantastic.
Great. It's actually just great,
Easily my favorite events this year. I didn't even do particularly well in Baltimore. It was still a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back again and again.
Well, we're off to a strong start here. Still got about half the day to go.
Yeah.
Try to fade some matchups, not have to flip as many coins.
My coin's very weighted.
Your coin's pretty heavy.
All right, we'll stop the coin flipping talk now because that probably is not good to be.
He's got a Mana Clash in his sideboard.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's fine. I boarded one.
Shout out to the Cardboard Crack comic. I think everyone knows that. But thanks for joining me here on the sideboard, Matt, Jeff, Kent. We wish you the best of luck and stay tuned to StarCityGames.com all weekend long for the action here in Louisville.